So I was playing a game. It just came out on Game Pass the other day. I think maybe even yesterday. But it's called Dodgeball Academia. It's it's a very cool looking game. It's just like oozing with fucking awesome coolness. Art style's bright and fun. It's got all the characters are very unique and have like awesome, unique looks. It's kind of got like I don't know. What am I trying to think of? Did you ever watch Foster's Home for Imaginary Monsters?
No, I'm not familiar with that one.
So it was like this Nickelodeon cartoon. It was a little after our time, but I watched a couple episodes. But it had like all these little imaginary monsters or whatever living in it, and they all had this unique color scheme and look. And this definitely has that. But basically, what it is it's a sports RPG around dodgeball. You go to this sweet academy of dodgeball, and it plays like I don't know. It's got like a tiny bit of Pokemon in there, and actually, like when you enter a battle, like there'll be people that if you run by, they'll trigger the battle, and it has like that Pokemon sound of like when you go to the battle, like no, but it does like a rock, like kind of like electro rock version of it, you know, a little
like Digimon, like a Digimon version.
Yeah, but a little more like fun and rockish, you know, like okay, did you ever play SXS, those old snowboarding games?
Yes.
And they were like
SSX.
Extreme, and you'd be like, wow, and it was like bright and colorful and cool like that. This kind of has that aesthetic to it.
I could see that. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now on Google here. 99% of Google users liked this game. I don't think I've ever seen 99% on anything before.
100% on Steam right now. 40 out of 40. 100%.
So it's actually like, no shit, like a good game.
Okay, so it's a lot of fun. So the battles break down where there's a few different types of battles. Sometimes it's like one-on-one, and you're playing against another person. Like you can catch the ball, but you have to have the right timing. If you're the main character, you can just try to run and dodge it. And then you have your throw. You can charge up and do like a superpower throw and get like one of my characters does fire damage, the other does like electricity damage. Then there's ultimates that you can use, and then they just get knocked out. But then there's like up to 3v3s, and there's times when if you knock someone out, they go behind you. And so you don't want to just dodge the ball then, because the guy behind you will catch it and then hit you from behind. You have strength stats, agility stats, and a technique stat. There's cool things you can do too. I know with my main character, you can kind of hold back when you throw it, and you'll do like a slow throw. And like certain characters have different abilities. Like so my other character, she doesn't catch the ball, but she kicks. So she does like a counter attack. So if you time her countering attack, she doesn't even catch it. She just like kicks it right back at them. And she doesn't have she has a dodge roll. Like my main character can't dodge roll. He can jump though, but she rolls on the ground. And it's really fast. And so she's more of like an agility focused character. More strength you have, more damage you do, more agility, a little bit faster you go. Technique, I think, is for your specials. The one issue I have is like and this probably by design, but the rink is really small. You don't have like tons of room to maneuver, and especially when you get 3 characters in there, it can kind of be a little weird. You can easily pass the ball to one of your other characters if you want to try using them. Maybe because some characters have like their own special abilities. So there's this one guy who doesn't just throw the ball at you; he throws it in the air and it kind of lands down on you. And so having her is not as the girl out is not as effective because she can't kick it back, but she can easily dodge it. So there's like a bit of strategy. I haven't gotten too far into it, but you have items you can equip that do different things. So far they're kind of boring stuff like boost 10% damage, 15% agility. One does sap health, so 15% of the damage you do comes back as health, which is nice. But it's really cool, and it's just this quirky world where everything's kind of like dodgeball related, and the music's really cool. Everything fits together really well, and I don't know, it just has this kind of Nickelodeon style cartoon anime, like slash anime style to it. Or actually, too, some of the characters look like straight out of like the Beatles, Yellow Submarine music video, the cartoon against the Greeny Meanies or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just very cool. It's kind of like a psychedelic, fun little hip hop RPG. I don't know how big it is. I doubt it's very big, but
no, it's got 44 total reviews on Steam, but it's pretty brand new. It came out August 5th of this year. Developers Pocket Trap, publishers is Humble Games. Yeah, that's a kind of a game that I wouldn't expect to be very good, but I guess it is very good.
Yeah, I'm having fun with it. I'll probably try to finish it. And I'll say too, like, it's not the easiest game. You know, some of these guys hit really hard. There's like a decent amount, a little bit of side quests I've gotten. I've only unlocked one other character, but you can get like a bunch of them, looks like. So yeah, like really enjoying it. Yeah, it's a blast. I recommend everyone pay the $1 and get the 3 months of Xbox Game Pass and just try it out.
Yeah, hell yeah. Justin finally talked me into doing that, and I'm glad I finally did.
Yeah. Oh, otherwise it is $25 on Steam. Besides the Dodgeball game, I played a little bit of Oxygen Not Included. Only played for like an hour or two. Probably gonna pick it back up though. I've played a lot overall. That game's a lot of fun. It's like your little it's like a side scroller colony builder, but you're like in not space, but this kind of like a weird world, and so the game has like these interactions between gases, and it has a really cool liquid physics to it, where all these gases interact and sort themselves. And you have to kind of build your base where you build like a big long tunnel to funnel in like all the carbon dioxide that'll like fall to the ground. And like your dupes is what they call. You're duplicating these characters. So they're like little clones basically. And they have like talents, just like RimWorld, where some are good at stuff and some are bad at stuff. And you know, you want to build toilets, otherwise the waste will fall. Like if you leave food on the ground, little critters will eat it. You have to like dig through different metals and biomes, and some of them give you food, some of them produce oxygen. You got to keep your oxygen levels correct. You'll get like poison type smog from like your fecal matter or your waste from your dupes. Very beautiful looking game too. The art style is awesome. Just those kind of like old, not Invader Zim really style, but kind of that coloring and the thick lining of the art. And yeah, it's just a lot of fun. You can build all sorts of like, you know, new technologies and make your base look pretty swanky, all sorts of kind of dupes. And, you know, eventually you can build up to having like space suits so you can get out really far, and you can find like thermal vents that create immense amounts of heat. And that's another thing about this game, is that you have to have a real heat management. So there's kind of like this pop sci-fi, or not sci-fi, but pop science to it, where like, yeah, if your base overheats, you want thermal walls around like any kind of heat producing like volcano. But eventually you can create these kind of rooms that will like take the heat and funnel it through water, or heat these pipes, which will then like go through like your chlorine gas area, and it'll heat that up and create and you can do different stuff like that. And there's multiple different types of metals that have different heat rating. So it's like a lot of fun to have a kind of little base builder with an emphasis on those type of things. So you are on like a type of asteroid. So once you go up higher on the map, you'll see the area is being bombarded by asteroids all the time, but you can eventually build like space rockets and then go to other worlds. I don't think I've ever gotten that far, but it's a lot of fun. That one's worth checking out too. It's from Clay. They're like one of my favorite video game makers, if not my favorite. They make Don't Starve, and
Yeah, I was gonna say it's made by your boys over there at Clay. Developed and published it. Overwhelmingly positive reviews. 66,000 reviews. And I mean, hell, they got the buy the Clay Survival bundle for $40, and that's got Don't Starve Together, Oxygen Not Included.
That's a good deal.
And a bunch of other shit. Yeah,
all those games are great. And then Oxygen Not Included is just, it's a swag ass game. Especially if you like playing around with stuff, because the stuff you can do with like the gases and creating like infinite cooling loops or infinite charging loops and infinite oxygen loops and stuff. It's very cool.
Well, very cool. It's interesting. It when I'm looking at it, it's like, oh, since you've played Satisfactory, you might like this game. So I don't know if you're familiar with Satisfactory, but would you say it's got some of those elements, what you're talking about with like loops and stuff and setting up little systems?
Yeah. In that way, there's not like a ton of, infinite running chains on conveyor belts, but there is some of that. And just some of the stuff like they design is really cool. Like, so if I'm building up, normally you want like a few spaces in between your rooms or whatever, where you're building your ladders. But then you'll put like a fireman pole next to it. And so just so you guys can go down. So you can come up with little strategies like that too. And things that just make the game more fun to play and see.